Do you know the three biggest mistakes that sellers make in a shifting market? I'm Glen Nelson with Nelson Real Estate Group, and today let's talk about three big mistakes that sellers make in a market that is shifting. When selling your home, it is important to be aware of the three common mistakes that many sellers make in a shifting market. And these are: number one, pricing your home too high; two, thinking they can always reduce the price later; and three, not considering changes in market conditions. At best, these mistakes can lead to a prolonged sales process and a lower final sales price on the home. At worst, they can result in the home languishing on the market or losing out on potential buyers altogether. No sale. So first, let's talk about the overpriced home. What's important to realize is the psychology of buyers, especially in a shifting market. Buyers know that the market is changing, more so than a lot of sellers, and buyers are tuned into what effect that has on housing prices. They are also aware of the trend of prices because they are in the trenches looking every day. So when a buyer comes across a home that is priced above market, their first reaction may be to pass on the home and look for other homes that are priced in tune with the market. Buyers are human, and as with most folks making a big purchase with emotions involved, they tend to project several traits on sellers. The buyers may think that the seller is either unreasonable in their thinking or is greedy. Now, while this may not be true, perception is reality. If a home is way overpriced, the buyer is thinking that the seller will be difficult to work with, unwilling to negotiate, and escrow will be a nightmare. Again, as humans, we all tend to avoid pain and discomfort. Buyers are wary of writing an offer, even a reasonable one, that is lower than the high list price, thinking the seller may be offended and be unwilling to negotiate. Interestingly enough, sellers think just the opposite. A buyer will write an offer below list price and they can negotiate up from there. Now let's take a look at the second seller mistake. I can always reduce my price later. The first 2 weeks of the market are the time a property gets the highest buyer attention and activity, so a property needs to be priced right so as not to lose out on the best pool of well-qualified buyers. Furthermore, this mistake completely ignores the perspective of the buyer. When a buyer sees one or more price reductions, especially common in a shifting market, they think, hey, there may be another price reduction if I just wait a little bit longer. The third seller mistake is failing to acknowledge market conditions. Now, we know of a couple who wanted to list well above market value based on how much they needed to buy their new home construction replacement home. They listed at the super inflated in their dreams price. The market had already begun shifting and continued over the next several months. After multiple price reductions and no offers, chasing the market down, the sellers ended up taking the home off the market and canceling the sale on their dream new home. Buyers react and adjust to market conditions more quickly than sellers. Now, this is out of necessity, especially when interest rates are rising faster than incomes and buyers are getting priced out of the market. Conversely, during a hot seller market with favorable interest rates and higher affordability, buyers are swift to offer prices above list as well as other terms to benefit the seller, such as an extended rent-back period. In a decreasing or flat market, it's very important for sellers to acknowledge the conditions so that they don't end up chasing the market down. Now, while sellers may want their price no matter what, a realistic view and acceptance of the market may be painful, but necessary. It's always better to accept an offer with a lower price and good terms from a solid buyer than to languish on the market, eventually selling for less, or worse yet, not sell at all. If you are looking to sell your home in a shifting market, it's important to be strategic and deliberate in your approach. And this means doing your research, setting an appropriate price, and being flexible and open-minded throughout the selling process. With this right strategy and mindset, you can successfully navigate a shifting real estate market and maximize the value. And working with the local experienced real estate agent can help you understand these trends and make smart decisions throughout the selling process. So with the right approach and guidance, you can avoid these common seller mistakes and maximize your chances of a successful sale. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to get notifications of future videos. And we'll see you next time.